What? What is this?
Pathetic. She's so fat, she's so gross, she will never find love. Pathetic. The only one who can love this woman is the good Lord up above. Around and pathetic. She will never change, she will always stay the same. Pathetic and insane. Pathetic. Really scary, you don't carry.
Damn, I'm jet lagged.
Pathetic.
Two wrongs don't make a right, Chantal. And two things can be true. You can believe what FFG did was touching the poo, and still understand that what Chantal did by doxing this woman is wrong. Anyway, the rest of this was repetitive and boring. I'll see you next time, little gherkins. She starts by showing us her lunch, which honestly I'm not mad at. It's a healthy meal and looks delicious. Too bad she probably followed it up with a McDouble.
Alright, now I got the rest of my salad, which had like a piece of tofu left, and then I got an extra side of tofu and an extra little dressing because I found I could use a bit more tahini dressing, and I'm gonna have that for dinner later. And I think in between I'm gonna get a kale juice because I'm just feeling like eating like super green today. I don't know why, but you know what it is? Yesterday's lunch, the Indian food was so good, but that's the first time that Indian food has upset my stomach, and I think it's a bit heavy with the medication I'm on. Like I'm on a medication that has metformin in it, and it really...
She cut herself off here to point out that the store's bush fell over and never finished her thought. But I'm assuming the Indian food gave her the runs, which probably got Sala salivating.
So yeah, I'm just craving something like easy on my stomach, and I'm not vegan, but sometimes I'd love to eat vegan food. All right, that made me hyper. Actually, I'm just happy that I didn't binge eat last night or the night before. Makes me happy because it's very hard for me not to do it. It's very hard. It's like pretty much like a restless night of just thinking, do I get up and go eat? Do I get up and go and microwave a plate of cheese or no? Do I get up and go microwave a plate of cheese or no? And the answer last night was no.
Knowing that after this video she hit up the dispensary, it's so funny seeing how excited and hyper she is to get her fix, playing that belly like a bongo in anticipation.
Viva la kale, viva la kale. I'm starting to like kale, but if it's okay, I don't like kale and I don't like quinoa if it's the only thing I eat. You know, I gotta have balance. Yeah, you gotta add some like veggies, onions, maybe some feta, maybe some pumpkin seeds, maybe some chicken, you know, proteiny stuff, healthy protein. We have a huge health art to do, guys. Oh my goodness. Starting slow with just not binging at night, please. You know, inshallah.
You know, when she got back home after her roadside rage, she microwaved a serving platter of cheese while cursing us all to hell.
Well, the craving for kale smoothies went away. No, I'm just kidding. I did get a kale juice. It's called Hail to the Kale from Booster Juice. Okay, let's try it. Woo! I don't know what's in it. Kale. There's no sugar. It's just they juice it right in front of you. Kale, green apple, some kind of herb I saw him put in there. Mostly greens anyway. Kale juice.
She hates it. I bet when she turned the camera off, she went and got a milkshake.
I'm very excited to get home, as I've said every video, so you know now. I got some lingerie also at Pennington's.
Oh, she's trying so hard to get Salah to want her. It's going to take much more than you squeezing your big ass into a sheer Ina Garten costume for him to be satisfied, Gorl. Anyway, the rest of the video was just her driving around showing us her old group home, which I'm not interested in at all. Let's get to her getting back to Kuwait.
Well, hello guys, how are you doing? I'm doing well. So as you can see, I'm back here in Kuwait, the infamous curtains there. So yeah, I'm back in Kuwait, and I thought I would talk a bit. I didn't film any of my journey home, really. I don't think so. I was so tired and out of it that I don't even remember what I filmed. But I'm finally here, and when I tell you that this journey is probably the worst one, it was just every single thing that I had fear about with traveling as a fat person happened to me. And I swear Allah was testing me, and you know what? I got through it. So I learned the lesson here that even if something is like really hard, you can still get through it. Basic, but so good to have and valuable in life, because we're going to face problems. I mean, trying to avoid them is probably more of a waste of time than learning how to deal with them. And because of what I went through on this trip, I've learned that, you know, I can get through these things. No problem. They're not fun too, but they're not meant to be.
Interesting. After what she says she goes through on this trip back to Kuwait, you'd think she'd learn to not be such a selfish cow that only buys one seat, but no. She just learned that she can encroach on everyone else and make their trip miserable, and that she can get through it.
All right, so basically what happened was, you know how I booked like kind of in haste, just like last minute, because I'm impulsive like that. I was like, no, I can't sit here anymore and just be depressed, and like I have to come home and just be at my place and everything like that, and deal with, you know, what we're dealing with together and everything like that. So I said, you know, to Salah, my husband, I said, book me a flight ASAP, you know, just ASAP, like in the next couple of days. So I left on the 3rd of January, and the flight was full. Like it's after holidays. It was a full flight. I wasn't even able to buy 2 seats if I even wanted to. Okay, so
Even if she wanted to. So she didn't try. After that whole speech she gave after her flight to Canada about how they had to rearrange the entire plane so she could have 2 seats, which they gave her for free, she still booked only 1 seat. You know what you could have done? You could have selected a different flight within a few days after this one that could have accommodated you purchasing 2 seats. You had options. You just didn't care.
even the business class was booked because I was like, okay, so, you know, business class is not as expensive as first class. You know, I could maybe justify that, has a bigger seat, it's private. Next time, I think I will. And then I can give like a review of it. So anyway, so they're like, sorry, ma'am, it's full.
Why would they say, sorry, ma'am, it's full? Because you went to the desk and said you need 2 seats and expected them to accommodate you for free again.
So I'm like, the whole time I'm freaking out. I was so nervous of like, I'm going through scenarios like, okay, how bad am I going to be encroaching on the person next to me? Is it going to be a huge man? Because then, you know, if it's a very tiny person, that might be okay.
It doesn't matter what the size of the other passenger is. It matters that your big ass is spilling over into their seat. I swear, if I was on that flight sitting next to her, I would have made it hell for her.
So anyway, I had to take my car, park it. Then I had to take a taxi to the Ottawa train station. Then a bus, like a charter bus, to Montreal Airport, okay? The Pierre Elliott Trudeau Airport.
Someone in the comments asked why her family didn't drive her to the airport again, and she says they are all in Florida, and if they were there, they would have taken her. Which is interesting because they were there when you landed in Canada and didn't come pick you up then either.
So then you know, my flight was at 8:55. You know, you always board earlier than takeoff. So, I got on the plane, and it was one of those, you know how you have like, there's like 3 rows of seats in the plane. On the left and right, there's like rows of 3, and then in the middle, there's a row of 4 seats. Well, luckily I had the aisle seat so that I could spill out if I wanted to, except when dinner service is coming. But sitting beside me was this grumpy looking.
Maybe he was grumpy looking because he saw a massive, wheezing, red-faced, sweaty woman hurpling towards the empty seat next to him.
Younger man from India, and he was just like, and I know he's from India because I heard him talking to the person beside him. So anyway, he was like younger. He wasn't too big, so that was good. So I was like freaking out. Everyone's looking at me. I was like one of the last people to get on the plane, and I asked for an extender. So I had to kind of like, you know, be like, excuse me, as I take my seatbelt and plug it in. And anyway, finally when I sit down, that was the moment. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm going to sit down. This is it. This is the moment I've been waiting for, the moment I'm so scared for. And boom, it was okay. Like,
it was okay for who? We've seen the way you fill up those seats. There is no way that man was able to use the armrest. There was no way for him to get up and get around you if he needed to. There was no way for him to be comfortable because your gut spilled out onto his lap for 12 hours. It may have been okay for you, but I doubt it was for him.
so the seats in the Qatar plane are actually a bit bigger than the Emirates, because in the Emirates, I remember like I had trouble with the handle going down unless I lost a bit of weight. I don't know. I don't think so, but anyway.
The fact that lost weight even came out of your mouth after the way you ate in Canada. Do you think that smoked tofu and salad and 2 kale juices made you lose inches? Girl, shut the hell up.
The bars came down. It was like a bit snug, but like with the seatbelt extender, I was fine. We actually weren't even really touching, which really surprised me. So I thought, oh my gosh, okay. And I think this is like a test I'm glad I went through, because it showed me that, you know, it's one of my biggest fears, and I was fine. Okay, so I was okay this time. I was happy.
It's all about her. She was happy. Fuck everyone else. They were barely touching for 12 hours. I don't want to be touching a stranger on a flight at all. But it's okay. She was happy.
The dinner service table doesn't come out all the way, so it came out halfway for me. Like, it folds once and then twice out, so I could unfold it once, and I probably could have gotten away with a tray of food being on it, but I didn't want to, like, I don't know, I had a fear about that, and I didn't want to use the washroom. So I literally did not eat. I had drinks, a lot of drinks. I didn't eat. I didn't go to the bathroom for 12 hours straight. Just in and out of like consciousness, not sleep, because I don't really sleep if I don't have my CPAP. Like, I just keep getting woken up by my breathing.
I've thought about this before. She said before that she does sleep on flights. Can you imagine what the people on that plane have to go through hearing her sawing logs for 12 hours straight? Absolutely not.
So anyway, the flight actually went by really quickly. I don't know, by some miracle, I swear, it was just like, it went by really quickly. And I watched the movie Psycho, like the original with with Anthony Perkins. The guy beside me was just kind of like looking at my movie like, what the heck? You know? So, yeah. He looked a bit like he'd been through some things in life, like a bit rough on the, you know, on the edges. So I thought, okay, good, he's been through some things, so he'll get through sitting next to a fat person on a plane.
How fucking selfish. He looks like he's been through some shit, so that means it's okay. The complete lack of regard for anyone else is sickening.
So, that was that. And then I was so tired because I didn't sleep. So, for sure, if I have to fly, like, super long flight like that again, I'm gonna get business, like, if there's any available, because on Qatar, they sell out quick because they're so, like, they're one of the best business classes. And you can plug your CPAP in there so I can sleep. And, you know, it's private. You don't have to worry about anything. So, anyway, so after the 12 hours, by the time I got to Doha, I was so tired. I just saw the first trolley driver guy and I'm like, I need to get to my gates. I only had like a 2-hour and some odd minutes transfer time, and it went by really quick. We boarded a bit early. So yeah, that again, I didn't even care at this point. I was like, whatever seat I'm assigned, whatever, because I'd gone through 12 hours of it, I can get through an hour, right? So I was sitting beside a very small woman and I had so much room. So Qatar, definitely. I heard one plus size influencer say they like Emirates for the best international flight for plus size people. I say Qatar is for sure.
She had to go through the last flight for 12 hours. Not anyone else. Not the man that had to suffer beside her. So it doesn't matter who she's seated next to for the final hour. It doesn't matter if they are miserable. Just her own comfort.
Anyway, all of this was worth it because when I was, you know, getting out of the luggage area, just tired, hungry, sweaty, just miserable, you know, I had my husband greeting me, and it was so nice to get in, you know, the car, the new car, not the Kia, and just, coming home. And I have to say now, really, being back and forth a couple different times, this feels more like home for me right now.
I bet he was clenching his cheeks so tight holding in that load for you. We're all so jealous. If only our cheating, degenerate husbands could pick us up from the airport with their bowels full of hatred.
So the biggest thing, when I came home and our apartment door was opened, I want to almost cry because I didn't even recognize our place. It was such a big shock. I'll show you our, like, Salah basically redecorated the entire place. Well, the living room and the bedroom, and then we call it Harry's room. Howie's room is pretty much the same, but we have a lamp for that place now. We have a new lamp, but that's about it for that room. So I'll show you here the new living room. We're not going to show our bedroom. We have a brand new bedroom set in the bedroom, and oh my gosh, you guys, the bed is such an upgrade, because I showed you in our old apartment hall. In our old apartment hall, you saw our bedroom once. That bed, you know, wasn't really comfortable, but it was big enough. So this is such an upgrade. Like, it's the plushiest mattress, and the bed is a huge storage bed from IKEA. Has like a lot of storage shelves. She likes to sleep in some of them. Has an area, like a big thick ledge I can put my CPAP and everything, whatever, you know. So we also have like a huge new wardrobe. Has like that, like, you know, is it hydraulic? I don't know where, like, it doesn't smash the drawers when you close. They close themselves a bit, and it's all a mirror. It's beautiful. And then we have the living room, so I'll show that to you now.
Okay, before we get into the living room, I want to know why. Why would he go out and buy all this new stuff? Where are they getting the money? They paid somewhere close to $3,000 in the past month for her to fly back and forth from Canada. She's ordering absolute junk online, eating out every day. I can roughly estimate how much she makes by her views per month, and he clearly does not work. It's not adding up. Either way, it's interesting that he bought all new furniture, but Harry is still in that tiny little cage.
So here it is, our new living room. Look how different and amazing this looks, guys. We have a slightly different color scheme, although we still did keep some of the old, but we have a brand new, larger carpet. This is sort of new, but we kept this little organizational cubby thing. I really like it. And here we have a little dining set. I didn't even know we had room for a dining area, but a little 4-seater.
Am I the only one that thinks it's weird that he did all of this without her input at all? If I were investing this much money into decorating my home, I would want to pick these pieces together. I'd want a say in what goes into my home. Also, there's no way those chairs are going to support her weight.
And I love these little fake lights inside, but these little jars of lights that Salah picked out, they're so cute. All right, and here we have the new sofa. It is a traditional type of Diwania style sofa set, and it kind of wraps around the whole living room. I really love the color. It kind of brightens up the room and goes well with the carpet. And here we have a table set that comes with a large table and 3 smaller tables. And the cool thing is you can remove the tables and put them anywhere you want. We have one in the corner with the lamp, and we have Bukur, Quran, and a nice roses decoration in the center of the table.
I actually like the stuff he picked. I do not like the setup, though. It's too much for such a small space. If it was just the corner sectional on the left without the entire second couch, I'd like it more. This is a lot of seating for a two-person house. I wonder if he was given this stuff by someone else. That would make much more sense because it's not made for this space at all.
And obviously, the best part about this condo is the seaside view. It just adds that touch, you know. And this was our first breakfast together, a traditional Arabic breakfast with falafel, different kinds of jubin or cheese, patsiya, which is hummus with ful, and we had some sandwiches there and some fatar. It was very, very delicious. You know how much I love the falafel. Oh, in the middle of the cheese platter, it comes with jam. It has tomatoes and za'atar and olives and all kinds of things. It was so delicious. If you haven't tried halloumi with jam on bread, you have to. It's so good. And I usually just take a falafel and dip it, and there you go, yummy.
What happened to that health arc you were talking about at the beginning of this video? Diabetes be damned. He is trying to win his woman back, and he knows carbs and cheese are the answer.
And this is in the evening. I just wanted to show you our ceiling lights, which also kind of match with the color scheme of our living room.
I've seen a lot of speculation that she's in a new apartment, so I went back to the original video where they show us the new seaside condo, and I believe it's the same. There are two reasons. One, the elevation seems the same. Here's a side-by-side of the original tour and this video. The second, I've seen people saying the ceiling is different. It's not.
So yeah, this is very typical kind of style here for the Middle East, for like gatherings or diwania they call it, and it's like kind of wraps around the whole room. I really, really, really love it. So it's very nice. It's a bit low to the ground, but some of them are on the floor, you know? So yeah, so my trip home was arduous. It was very testing, and I really need to get healthy so that I can do things like that, like travel. And I mean, traveling for anyone, even healthy people, it's stressful, you know? My body hurts a bit from sitting for so long. I did have the compression stockings worked because my feet are not swollen at all. I'm so happy. So I got home and I was just like, wow, you did all this work like in such a little time, you know? So like within a day, just went shopping for everything and then like placed everything. Like,
she's so easily impressed. You bought furniture and brought it inside? Like, how long did you think it would take? Then again, he does have a habit of saying things were only a day when it was much longer than that. We'll get into that in the next video.
So then I had a shower and just got in the new bed with the nice new sheets, and it was so amazing. Just an amazing night, and yeah, an amazing night. Being home, so.
Oh, she wants us to think he blew her back out so bad. If he did, he was thinking about Kybella. I love that for you. Anyway, she ran back to Kuwait to control her husband, and we know that's going to result in an epic meltdown at some point. More importantly, I'm going to end this one here so I can get into the more exciting drama. Kybella is back, and she's answering questions and dropping receipts. So I'll see you very soon, little gherkins.
Pathetic. She's so fat, she's so gross, she will never find love. Pathetic. The only one who can love this woman is the good Lord up above.